Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm currently around about 10 weeks post show and I'm in for a back and hamstring session which I'm recording for yourself. And first up we have the lat pull down. Here I've got two sets and the purpose of this movement is to bias the lats, hence why I've got attachment around shoulder width and I'm cueing elbows down. And something when it comes to your back training, doing any sort of row and also like pull down, even if you're targeting the lats, it's okay for your shoulders to move and to allow them to elevate at the top. As long as you still initiate with the elbow, you've got a good arm path to target the lats, as it allows you to lengthen them further. So next up we've got a deficit stiff leg deadlift, and the reason why I'm pulling off a deficit in comparison to just the ground is because I can access that range safely while maintaining a neutral spine in a safe position. What I mean by that is everyone's built different. Some people have different limb lengths, meaning some people's arms are longer, shorter than others. Same with people's femurs, or in other words their kind of thigh. So it doesn't make sense for everyone to pull from the exact same height or the exact same starting position. So as a result, it's good to maybe tailor your deadlift to yourself, meaning if you can access more range of motion, pull from a deficit potentially. If you don't have access to that range, pull with plates under the plates, so you're not pulling from as low, so you can maintain a neutral spine. So it's good to tailor it from the individual, because why should everyone have like an arbitrary depth that they get to? So yeah, one set here, and basically my rep range is like 6 to 12. I've just been chucking weight on every week and this is progressing very well. So far I think I've added over 40 kilos to it in the space of 10 weeks, so going pretty well. Come on. Easy. Come on. Come on! Again! Easy! Fuck. So now moving on to a movement that will target my upper back, and when I'm performing this, my hips are a bit more forward in the seat, and the goal is as much movement in the shoulder blades and upper arm as possible, so I can take the upper back for a large range. And when I'm doing this movement, what's ideal about this machine is the handles are kind of just outside shoulder width, and I feel like that kind of handle position allows the most protraction, retraction, or in other words, the most movement forward and back of your shoulder blades, which is obviously ideal for the upper back, so it's a great movement for that. Whereas if you've got like a super wide grip, if you even try it without any weight, it's hard to get your shoulders forward and back as much. So that's why this grip is a favourable kind of movement for the upper back. And I'm also cueing driving my chest forward as I pull back, and that stops me bringing my chest off the pad excessively and just using my lower back to move the weight from A to B. Come on. So next up we're moving on to a lat focused row, and here kind of the opposite applies as what I'd kind of done on the chest supported row. I'm staying a bit more upright. I'm not leaning back because that will kind of encourage you to shrug and not kind of target the lat. I'm focusing on driving my elbow to my hip. It's really easy when you kind of get to the end half of the movement to just kind of shrug it back or to try or think back. But make sure when you're targeting your lats, you keep cueing down throughout. You also notice like nothing moves here in terms of my body, my knees, because if I'm moving other kind of muscle groups, if I'm moving like my torso, it means I'm using momentum to get the weight from A to B, which I'm not trying to do. So next up we have the lying hamstring curl, and on the lying hamstring curl, what you'll notice on this specific machine is you can load it differently in different areas. So you can load it so it's heavy at the top, middle or bottom. I'm loading it so it's heavier in the stretch because you're already quite weak in the shortened position or at the top when your legs bent, especially when you tire out, hence why. And when I'm doing this, if you don't have access to one like a machine like that where you can manipulate where it's heavy, where it's light, what you can do is basically if you fail at the top and you feel like you've got a lot more in the bottom half of the movement, just finish your set with partials, or if you can manipulate the resistance, do so. And here the goal is to basically keep everything still, only move at the knee joint. If we are arching our backs excessively, rocking backwards and forwards, again, other things are moving the weight from A to B. And then following on from that, we've got the single leg press, where I am doing just one set each side. That's all I really need. My quads are a strong point, so I don't need to give them a ton of work, hence why this work is placed later in the session, hence why I've not got as much volume. Even though like I'm doing little volume, I do get quite sore from the volume I do perform, which is a good sign I'm doing a sufficient amount of work. And the better quality your work is, and the more effort, meaning the more effort you put in, the better your execution is, the less overall work you'll need. So focus on quality over quantity. Easy now. So really good session as a whole, boxed off. Progressed pretty much every movement, which I was happy with. And I finished with a dual arm cable curl, followed by a rope hammer curl, and then a hanging static stretch. And with the hanging static stretch, it's shown that passive stretching can, oh, doing the hanging stretch can be good for shoulder health. It can help your kind of flexibility in terms of kind of stretching out the muscles in your back, and passive stretching can also promote muscle growth or hypertrophy. So not a bad idea to do at the end of your session when your back's full of blood. And yeah, didn't really kind of talk through the bicep work just because it's a bit boring. Just basically curling, not using momentum, and making sure effort is there just like you would with any other body part, and progressing the lifts over time. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, any support's massively appreciated, and I'll be sure to get out. I'm hopefully looking to keep these up regularly on a monthly basis. I know it's not that frequent, but I'll at least keep it consistent. So next month I'll probably do kind of like a full day of eating or something in terms of nutrition or outside the gym related. But hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.